Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. Jumping into where we left off before we went to the explosive plays. We did a whole little mini-series there to break up some of the film reviews, because I want to go back to some of these film reviews, especially on the defensive side. We do have some on the offense. Last one I think we did was Dylan Fairchild. Go back and check that one out. It was good. Check out the explosive series we did as well. I know a lot of people are off doing other things in June. Hey, if you're getting ready for camp, you can still watch these things as you get ready for the 2026 season. So now we're jumping back into some of these players on film that if they take another step in their game, how much better can the Bengals be as a whole from these players? And one of the main ones, and we did Demetrius Knight, we did Dylan Fairchild, we're going to do Dax Hill, and we're going to do Barrett Carter, and there's some other guys here. People have suggested like Chris Jenkins, Josh Newton. We'll see if we get that far. I'd like to do these depth guys as well, because there is an opportunity for them to take a step forward. We did Braylon Lux. I tried to go deep into it, because I think Lux has a chance, and plus he was getting number one reps. This episode is going to be on former first-round pick Myles Murphy, because Myles last year had 41 pressures. We started to see those numbers tick up just a little bit, and some called it like a breakout year. I wouldn't go that far. You get 5.5 sacks, but if you play solid run defense, we'll take that. That's a quality baseline, probably starter, probably good number 3 defensive end. But the Bengals still need a number 2 D end. If Boye Mafe is at number 1, if Cassius Howell's going to need a year, right? Rookies don't typically jump in, and especially second-round picks, and be that dude right away. Myles Murphy's in line to play a bunch. He'll have to fend off Shamar Stewart, and we'll see how that rotation goes. But if Myles takes one more step forward, maybe 2 more, let's see how much further he can go forward. It's going to probably look like this. 99 is Myles Murphy. Number 99 right there, left side. We also got Shamar Stewart out here. But this is a cut up of his 41 pressures from 2025. And why would we watch his 41 pressures, right? Because if he gets to that next level, it's going to be because these flashes turn into more consistent play. So this is what it would look like. Look at him getting out of stance already, right? Shamar's he is still down, isn't he? Myles has had a great get off his entire career. He's going to go for the 2-hand swipe. His get off has been his number 1. If that's something that he's going to win with throughout his career, that's a big benefit for him. He's going with a 2-hand swipe, trying to knock away this outside hand. This outside hand gets him in the face. He doesn't exactly get it, but he does free himself enough to turn the corner here. As you saw him just knock this hand away and throw this hand down. Now he can turn this corner, right? Without it, he'd probably end up like this. So he is able to get those hands off him for a split second. Now he's kind of has to dip and rip underneath this to get to the quarterback. And that's his first pressure of the season all the way in week 1. Hey, look at Logan Wilson making a tackle. Logan Wilson actually had a great game week 1. To think how quickly he fell off in a matter of just a few weeks is crazy. All right, we're on our left side going against the left tackle here. He's got Harold Fannin in front of him for Myles Murphy. More of an even stance here, expecting the run. Going to get off Harold Fannin as they're pulling over the center, it looks like. And he's just fighting through that. Can't really ever get the guy's hands off of him. It's going to be the criticism we have. If you want to really criticize Murphy and where you're looking for the progression, I think number 1 is hand usage needs to land with more accuracy and intensity and power. Really with some anger. Really knock those opponents' hands off of him to get him free more often. Look at Murphy here. Murphy's over at defensive tackle. If we're going to replace an Osai with Cassius Howell and put Murphy inside on some nickel, because here is Hendrickson, I like the sound of that. I like the way that potentially could be. So let's watch Murphy here. I believe he gets a half a sack, his first half a sack. Right away gets smacked in the face. That's twice in 3 plays now. And now the other guy, left guard, comes in, also smacks him in the face. Kind of a common thing I wrote down in my notebook. You want to get these guys' hands off you. Now he's got a double team, so whatever. But go be an athlete. Get that guy to, I don't know if you saw that real quick here. Right there is getting held on the neck, the collar, right? Watch him knock that away. And now he's able to get in the quarterback's face and corral him, because the quarterback's trying to escape this way. And Murphy gets to the outside and doesn't allow him to do that, which forces the quarterback to peel back. Carson Wentz and he is getting sacked. So, our first sack of the year for Myles Murphy and Chris Jenkins. Moving it to the Broncos game. Murphy's on the right side here. Going against Garrett Bowles, who won Lineman of the Year, if I remember correctly, right? But because we've got a blitz showing, Bowles has to kind of go horizontal first and doesn't get to pick up Myles Murphy. So let's watch it. Murphy becomes the unblocked player. Can he run, get in face of the QB? He does, but it's too late. We're going to unblock guy. A lot of times, I should pause it here. If I can go back, a lot of times, if you're the unblocked guy, if you're actually bringing that linebacker and you see this guy peel off. So I wouldn't be surprised if in the room they may have said, hey, you have to get this guy. We've seen this on other plays, that you have to peel off and go with him because there's nobody back there. So I wouldn't be absolutely shocked if in the film room they said, Myles, you got to pick that guy up. Okay, left side this time versus Penei Sewell. There we go. Goff checking the play, switching it up. We're going to try and see if we can get the get off here. Oh, yeah. Two guys moving. Murphy, Hendrickson. Hendrickson also very good get off. Murphy's working his way back inside. Good stunt by, it's got to be BJ Hill. He's great at that stuff. It's not. It's Osai. I didn't see who was lined up inside. I'm going to go back one click here. Watch Osai. Purposely winning to the outside and crashing. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not, but crashing into Sewell, allowing Murphy to get back inside. The good thing about Murphy is he is a good athlete. Despite being very long and linear, sometimes those guys can have a little bit stiffer hips. Murphy is stiffer than the guy who may be 6'1", 6'2". No doubt about it. He's on the right side this time. But he is still a very good athlete with very good speed. He's got the tight end on him this time. Two guys blocking him, tight end and a receiver. He's going to work his way all the way through it. Turn down the line, and he and Geno Stone's going to get the full credit for the sack. But Murphy definitely helped create that one. The coverage did, the blitz did, all of that. But yeah, you got to be able to, if you're being blocked by a tight end and a wide receiver, I don't even care if it's doubled. I'd like my DN to get in there, and he did. Right side, I don't know if I said it, but here's the snap of the ball right now. One more. I mean, everyone's getting off pretty good here, but Murphy, even compared to Osai on the other side, really getting off. He's diving inside this time, trying to create that space for Jenkins, who gets held. So Murphy does his job. He's trying to pick off Suamalo here, but watch Jenkins get held right there. Suamalo's doing his best to keep a hand on him. Murphy still fights his way inside and makes us a forced or pressured throw, I want to say. So good job by Murphy of hitting his target, doing what he's supposed to do. He is creating for somebody else on that. A lot of times when we use pass rush win rates and things like that, it doesn't factor in the fact that this guy is not supposed to win on that play. But oftentimes those crashers will win. All right, he's got a tight end on his side, quickly discards him. Now he's got a running back trying to pick him up, go right through that running back, Murphy. Yeah, kind of falling around the backside. I'd like Murphy to be able to get right through this guy. You got a running back one-on-one here. Go through him. Let's not try to go around the outside. Use your size to the advantage. But we are trying to keep Justin Fields in the pocket because he is extremely dangerous. So if he was told to go outside by any means, then you do what you got to do. All right, he's on our right side this time. Going against the right tackle. It looks like he's about to chop, right? Would you say he's about to chop this outside hand? Let's see if he can land it. Yes, he does land it. Now he's got a rip with that. The rip doesn't fully win. You'd like to be a little cleaner than that. If you are, this is probably a sack or at least a hit in the back. And he still gets a little piece of Fields. So close. And that's going to be, Murphy's going to be, I think, the conclusion when we get to the end of this. A lot of near productions. Why I'm so big on his hand usage, because I think if he wins even at like a 5% higher rate, I'm talking about winning with your moves, that could be 9-10 sacks and he's getting paid in the offseason. Again, really good get off. He's going against Darnell Wright, trying to chop that outside hand and then rip. He's got to fight through it. Ends up being a pressure. Again, I think that's taking too long. I need those hands to win quicker and the apex of the arc to dip around it and get around it a little bit cleaner. I think he can when his hands win. When he's in combat, active hand-to-hand combat, I think it's harder for him to win around the arc. All right, looks like he was about to go inside, gets banged around a little bit. His left tackle falls. Now Murphy just has to be an athlete. And Caleb Williams got him. Oh, what a nice play by Caleb Williams, right? That's how you get on the cover of Madden. You see that rush is coming. You see that pressure. Whoop. So I think we've had a couple of, it was Jordan Love, right? And then this one, Caleb Williams, where I think Murphy could have racked up a sack. You know, I'm glad he's getting these pressures, but at the same time, these are opportunities for sacks. So becoming a slightly better tackler. So what you saw here is he's jab stepping in with this foot. And now he's going to try and run the arc. He's trying to get this guy to plant his feet and make that corner easier to turn. Let's see if he can here. Oof. This is a great still shot of what I mean by him needing to win with his hands more often. Meanwhile, on this side, we may reverse it and look at the left side in comparison. But his hands have missed, and as a result, the right tackle, Darnell Wright's face is implanted right into his neck. And now let's go back to Osai. I just want to see how Osai wins. Got a much worse player to go against here, but let's just see. See that? You see the move? Gives him the stab with the left, and then knocks that hand away with the right. And now he's got an open gate to Caleb Williams. How does Murphy get a pressure here, man? That's crazy. He just eventually works that's a good job right there. There we go. We want to talk about a good job. It's right here. Wright is going to try and push him through and past. He does a good job staying with it and getting to the outside. He didn't get to the outside. Spoke too soon. But Murphy will chase guys down. I thought he played with a lot of hustle last year. He ran a lot on that play. And because he's an athlete, he can catch up. We're not in the second half yet. So if you're concerned right now, like, man, these were his pressures, he gets better as the season goes, which is a good video to tell the story of Myles Murphy in 2025. Our right side, he's going against Troy Fautanu. Oh, Fautanu gets a great jump. Jeez. Was he getting jumps like this all year? Watch him. Man. Yeah, because that ball was snapped. It's a good jump by him. All right, Murphy looks like he's going with the power. I see the hands connecting here. Let's see. Again, I don't know. He gets into a lot of weird situations with his hands. He's just going power, 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 power. He had a chance to really get in there. That was close. It looks like a completed pass, maybe. But, yeah, that's just being powerful. No doubt about it for Myles Murphy. This is when he starts to heat up a little bit. Was the Steelers game. This is the second Steelers game, so this is after their bye, I believe, right? He's on the left side here. Looks like I would assume he's going to stunt inwards because it looks like BJ Hill's got a beeline towards Troy Fautanu. Let's see it. Yes. And then power through that guard. And it says down here they gave that full sack to Murphy. That looked like a split situation, so could be wrong. Who knows? All right. Right side for Murphy this time. Got to worry a little bit about the chip help from Kenneth Gainwell. Once again, we are saying this guy is hitting Myles Murphy in the face. He gets hit in the face more than any lineman I studied for the Bengals. And it's probably because he's not knocking these hands down. He's just getting punched in the mouth a little bit too often. But again, he gets here, he gets to a spot. We're trying to keep Aaron Rodgers in this pocket. Let's watch it collapse now from this point. Good job staying active and staying with it. Not exactly falling over. Everyone's just corralling until he finally gets hit. And Gainwell almost made a crazy catch, huh? Wow. I'm getting quite a few pressures in this game. Murphy on the left side this time. And it's Mason Rudolph in the game. Troy Fautanu sticks the hand out. Murphy's going to try and work back inside. You got him off balance. Throws him by him. That's a great rush by Murphy. Realizing what Fautanu's balance as he wanted to shoot outside. I'm surprised Fautanu wanted to shoot outside and then redirect in because it didn't look like he was able to. And then Murphy just works through him, throwing him by, using his momentum against him, and then getting the pressure. Maybe a little bit quicker. We can keep this from being a completed pass next time, but it was still a good rush from Murphy. We're completing, or the opponent's completing a little bit higher, too high of a percentage of these throws, in my opinion. All right, Murphy's kicked inside here, reduced inside. We got 3 defensive tackles here. directly on Fatanu. Let's see here. Keeping Murphy in the pocket, his job. Murphy's keeping Rudolph in the pocket. So let's see if Rudolph tries to escape. Let's see how good of an athlete Murphy can be, which we know he can be. And there he goes, forcing that to be a throwaway. So again, pressured throws, we want them completing 50% of them, maybe 40% if we can. All right, against the Patriots, the eventual AFC champions. Murphy's on the right side here. He gave him a little jab step. This isn't Morgan Moses here. Doesn't look like it. 52. Good chop to the outside. Let's see it again. Yeah, doesn't fully win though, but he's got the angle because he caused this guy this hesitation step right at the beginning. This little jab inside gets him to plant, right? You can get the lineman to stop their feet when you do that. Now, when you turn the corner is right here rather than it being right here, which opens it up to a path to the quarterback. And there is Murphy probably, again, that's probably three opportunities. Let's say you're at best, you're tackling 2 out of 3 times. Those are plays where we could, I mean, Murphy makes those plays. The defense is better. He's getting paid. So we want that. Looks like Morgan Moses is back in the game, 76 at right tackle. Murphy with a good get off again. Really, Moses is a veteran. So the jab steps aren't going to slow him down too much. He's still staying to the outside. You see his right foot still staying outside of his frame because he's ready to go that way. One punch to the chest gets Murphy. Murphy's unable to throw his hands by. Meanwhile, Moses puts out the left hand. You're not going back inside on me. Gets in position. Hand usage for Moses really good here. Really keeping Murphy at bay. But then Murphy does a really good job here grabbing. You can see it, how he grabbed the inside shoulder, pulled it down. He's going to swim back in. That is a tremendous move. This is probably his cleanest win so far, right there. And that's a second, third probably move. We talk about counter moves and things like that. They call that an incomplete pass rather than a sack forced fumble, by the way. But it was a great move for Murphy. Now here's the defensive highlight of the season, this game. Murphy on the left side. Got Mark Andrews. He's got to be aware of him. You see him, check him right there, just in case he's going to get hit from the blind side. And he has to deal with him a little bit here. I would assume we got another stunt. By the way, Osai is going to pick off Rosengarten, and he does there. Murphy gets inside. Now power. Can we power through this guard and get into the lap? And that's a sack, forced fumble recovery, but a lot of that stems from Myles Murphy. Credit goes to, like you'll see in the stat sheet, that goes to Osai, goes to Sed Johnson, but Myles with the power back inside against Daniel Falele. Really good job. He's on the right side this time. We got 2 tight ends over there and the running back, so a little bit of trash to work with and work through, things to be aware of. Good get off again for Murphy. Go straight power. Head down, can be dangerous. Let's see him get in there, really fight through. Yeah, he's reaching for it. Can he get a hand on him? No, but it is a pressure. Can we keep him in the pocket? Yes. Need that, right? We need to turn those pressures into sacks as an entire unit. I think Myles caused some chaos there. You need the other guys to step up and make a play as well. Murphy on the right side again here, it looks like. All right. Looks like he's dodging, or I shouldn't say dodging. He's going inside just based on his stance. Let's see if that's what stays. Yep, he's just trying to get Osai to the outside to keep Jackson in the pocket. Now Murphy's got to redirect and be like, all right, I'm contained on the inside. I'm almost spying the quarterback. Don't let this guy hold you when Jackson tries to bail. Let's see it. Be an athlete. Be an athlete, Myles. That's a great play. That is a great play. 1 yard gain. He can chase, at the very least. Good get off again for Myles. Let's see him knock this outside hand down, going for the long arm. Can you get this hand off you now? You see Rosengarten has his outside hand to the neck of Murphy. Can Murphy lift it and open up that outside? Get it out of there. Get it out. Too late, right? That it shouldn't be 3 steps from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. maybe, and here's Murphy chasing down, as we're talking about. He's chasing down Derrick Henry all the way down the field. Chance to knock it out. But yeah, so the quicker wins. We need the quicker wins, quicker hands, more aggressive hands, more physical hands. You can get that. You can push him a little bit further with hand usage on the right side this time. Looks like he's running the arc, trying to chop that outside hand. Doesn't get it. Can he go for the rip here? Run that corner. And again, it looks like he's going to be unable to turn this corner. So running the arc, this is a great play for it. It can look like a right angle sometimes. It can look like this, where you get completely ridden out. What you ideally want is to go like this, because you got to make it back in. So all that, we go back to this area. This is the apex of the arc. That's the apex. This is where we need to win. A lot of that happens on your get off, because you can get the guy to open up the way he is now. You see where's his butt facing? This way? Well, everyone else's butt is facing quarterback, right? Check the linemen's butts. They shall be facing the quarterback, except for him. He's very vertical. Anyway, so now you've got him opened up. We've got to win at this apex here. Got to win here. And that comes with your next move with your hands. Right there, the outside hand of the lineman is still around Murphy's shoulders, neck, anything like that. He's got to be able to lift it and get it out of there so we can run this. You see the hand right there. It's still, at this point, wrapped around his arm into his chest. Murphy is way over his feet, right? If his feet are right there, he is way over, so his balance is way off. It's okay if I can get this hand off me. If I can't get it off me, that guy's going to ride me around the arc. If I'm trying to cut this at the end of the apex now back inside, it's hard to do that when this guy has his hands on you. And that's what we'll see right there as Murphy tries to reach, can't get to it, and it should have been picked off by Josh Newton. It's a pressured throw. Jackson knew he had to get rid of it. The get off is a big part of that. As a quarterback, you see the get offs and it affects you. That's why you want a guy with a good get off. I think it puts fear in quarterbacks, but it also gives you advantages against linemen that you're trying to block you, obviously. All right, Murphy's on the left side this time. Two-hand swipe maybe, and then a rip. Nope, he's unable to beat Spencer Brown with that. So now can he throw Brown up the field and work his way back inside? Tries to go with that swim move there. He's unable to. This is a pressure. But again, if we can turn these pressures into sacks, they don't end up being touchdowns, right? The whole defense is better when you turn these pressures into a higher sack rate. Bengals had a decent amount of pressures last year. They need finishers. They need closers. All right, Murphy left side as the snow is coming down. Going against huge Spencer Brown. Huge. Trying to, again, here's the two-hand swipe. He misses, right? Now Murphy's hands are down on his side and their faces are touching. That shouldn't really happen. But there is a win. So that last one right here. So now as he's gotten bumped out this way, he would like to go like that rather than this, right? He'd like to flatten to the quarterback. And we can't see it from the backside, but it looks like he swats and lets it go. Or grabs and lets it go because you see his hands come down afterwards. And he's running through the backside. Cedric Johnson gets they're calling it incomplete. What I thought was, I'm at that game, and I thought sack, force, fumble. Look at Chris Jenkins rumble. Let's go. Again, we're talking quicker, cleaner wins. That's how he's going to get to be a 10-sack guy. He's got to win cleaner more often. He's got the tight end on the side, best blocking tight end in the league. Hawes, not going to have to worry about it. We have a play action with Spencer Brown really kicking out wide here, going jump setting on Murphy. Murphy swats, two hands, touch nothing. Swats again. This time he's got a chance. This time it's forcing, this is a really good pressure. This time it's forcing Josh Allen to step up because that jump set, this ball's got to be out quick, basically. If it's not, it gives you a good angle to get to the quarterback. BJ Hill cleans it up, which is probably the second time we said BJ Hill cleaned up a pressure from Myles Murphy. Left side again. It's nice to be able to have Murphy that can play both sides, where Hendrickson really didn't do that. Boye Mafe can play both sides. Cassius Howell can. Shamar Stewart can. Okay, so Spencer Brown's giving him the arm. Let's see if Murphy goes for it and tries to knock it down. Again, missed. I would take the two-hand swipe out of his repertoire. There are D-line coaches that love doing it. That two-hand swipe should be like your first move. You learned that in high school. Listen, some guys never have a great feel for it. So now he's underneath Brown. Spencer Brown had a bad shoulder, I want to say, in this game. Plus, he is tall. I think he's 6'9". So Murphy, who's typically a tall rusher, is able to get under Brown here and fight through it. If he can just get one more hand off of him, maybe this is probably a sack, right? Because of his length and get off and athleticism, like he is close to sacks. These 41 pressures, he's close to what, 15 sacks it's going to feel like when we get to the end of this. You get to be a double digit and a premier sack guy by winning with your hands consistently. Good get off, good strength, good speed. Could use a little bit more agility and balance, but I've seen guys win without that. All right, we're going for power against Spencer Brown. Bringing it right to his face. Yeah. Now get off of him. Now if we could get those hands off and still win. Instead, that is a pressure. And no one can really run with Allen as he picks up just a few yards here. Just a few. It's 8. But close, man. Close. We need other guys to get pressure on those plays. Those are the plays where, that's why bull rushing is funny, because you can get initial pop and pressure. It's hard to disengage. Let's go back. What are you doing to me? I don't want to miss this one. Murphy left side. He's got Isaiah Likely on him. So gives him his hands. Let's see if he can work it to the outside and rip on him. Yep. Actually, maybe getting pulled here a little bit. Working his way back inside, and good tackle. That's a good tackle outside your radius. You want to block him with a tight end? Go ahead. Good tackle. That's a great tackle from Myles Murphy. He should feel good about that one. Okay, right side again here. Going against Rosengarten, who turned into a solid right tackle. Isaiah Likely is going to try and block him again. Myles, and now Patrick Ricard. Let's see if Myles can beat him. Yes, right through him. Pressure. He's getting banged around. Can anyone else get in there and make a play? No. Now Lamar's running. So that's when you need somebody else. Somebody else. One more guy. That's where Boye Mafe, Jonathan Allen, because remember, we don't have Hendrickson here. So even Hendrickson on these would make a huge difference. So you get Boye Mafe, Cassius Howell. You get Dexter Lawrence, obviously. Jonathan Allen. Waves. You can start sending waves at these guys. Myles on the left side. Got a tight end on him again. Yeah, give him a little right here. There's a two-hand swipe. That's what it's supposed to look like when you get linemen with it. Linemen are better blockers, of course, than Charlie Kolar. And we get a sack, potential split between he and Slayton, but the stat sheet says it goes directly to Myles Murphy. It's a nice, clean win. It is against tight end. Yes, if you want to say that, that's fine. The Ravens will block you with tight ends. They're going max protect. Their O-line was not very good last year. We got another stunt here with B.J. Hill. Work your way inside, get in front of Falele and around him. Watch him right here. Yeah, Falele's late to react and fight through that little bit of contact. Watch how Falele tries to hold on to Murphy right there. Murphy's able to stay strong, stay on his feet, and wrap up. No. Lamar's still able to get that ball out somehow. Ronnie Stanley injured on that play, the left tackle. So if we see another play, all right, we're all ready to the Dolphins game. Right side for Murphy. Going to get chipped. Going with the power. The left guard's going to come over and try and help. Just getting to the backside of the quarterback. It was Quinn Ewers. That's right. My dream. I almost forgot who. I'm like 14. 14 for the Dolphins. What's going on? It was Ewers. I thought he was okay last year. That was his only pressure from the Dolphins game. All right. Where's Murphy? He's on the inside, left side this time. There's Cam Sample out there. First thing we're going to see is a nice swat of the inside hand of the right guard. Right there. Bang. Now we've got the stunt. Look at Cam Sample. Just that one frame right here. Look at Cam Sample giving it up. You need guys to be able to do that. And Murphy is an athlete now. Watch it. This is a very delayed stunt. And Murphy's getting in there. I think he could have got him. Good play. Barrett Carter. Good play. This will show up in our Barrett Carter review because he didn't have too many good coverage plays. That'll be the one area that I'm really watching for him in the future. You can be a good coverage guy with intelligence. We'll see. That's something the coaches keep talking about with him. Like, he's got that. So let's see how that works. All right, he's got McBride here to block. Murphy's working through McBride, and now he's got Beachum. Let's see if he this is being a better athlete. So I don't say I can't really tell who's winning here. Because right there, Beachum's got a real good hold of him. And then Murphy somehow swats that outside hand maybe and creates separation, but then gives it right back up. And then Beachum just missed. So he must have swatted it down. And then look at the speed he closes with. From here, okay, so now he's no longer being touched here. So let's see how many steps Brissett takes before Murphy's on him. 1, there's the second foot step, third step, and you're done. Like he took 6 steps, or at least closed the gap of what 6 steps should be for Murphy in order to get to Brissett. Brissett's not the fastest dude, but Murphy looked fast right there. All right, left side. Try to swat this outside hand. Let's watch it again. Try to swat that outside hand. You see right there, you can see what he's trying to do. The black gloves on the lineman here. You're not tricking nobody. I know that's the hold. But he misses. And that hand instead is around his face mask and his neck. Murphy's getting so many hands to the face and neck area. Nice spin back inside to make this a hit on the QB. Okay, DJ Turner with a pass breakup. But again, if we can not get those hands in our face, that would be ideal. We would like that. I think everyone would like that. We're in the final game of the year now. I'll probably finish this film review in faster than I expected here. Left side, by the way. All right, we got a lot of action going one way. Murphy does a good job running with the potential run there, surfing with it, getting inside. Okay, realizes now we got play action. You've got this. Was this the center that pulled over? It has to be the center, right? Let's watch 56. Yeah, it's the center that pulls over. So you got the athletic and length advantage here against the center. But nice little punch to the chest, power, getting on Shedeur, making him throw that thing away. That's a good win, Myles Murphy. We'd like it to be a sack as well, but pressure throws are good too because you get a lot of interceptions and chaos off of pressure throws. All right, he's on our right side here, going into right tackle. He's got to worry about the chip. Gets chipped into the lineman. They meet face to face. He's still going to power his way to the inside. Gets his hand up. Did he tip it? Somebody tipped it in there. I see Murphy's hand. And I also see Shamar. Shamar looked like he hit the ball. Murphy looked like he hit Shedeur's elbow, right? Okay. Right side. He's got a 84 here he's got to worry about. Plus, we talked about this before, but when you tight end this way, running back this way, it's supposed to slow down that defensive end. You give him a lot. It really changes the angle he can go. Because where can he really go? He can only go like right here. Helps the lineman and where he should expect. All right, Murphy, let's see if you can rip this outside hand, knock it down. Let's see if you can knock it down and then rip. Cut the corner, get up to him. So this is why we want a cleaner win, right? We talk about getting cleaner wins. I just want to be clear on this because if we can chop this outside hand down, we also need to almost get our shoulder this way. If we can get the shoulder's going to end up on the inside of his arm. We want the shoulder to end up on the outside of his arm. Does that make sense? So when he rips right there, you want to knock it down and fit back through it. He's knocking it down and then almost catching himself on it. Pretty routinely too. It's hard to turn the corner like that. And they're not going to call holding. A rip move does not get turned into holding unless you beat the guy. Like now. But he's falling to the ground. He stays up. But sacked by Cam Sample. Sure, it's a pressure from Myles Murphy. But that could be a sack. We can turn that into a sack. All right, right side. Good get off again. Jeez. Yeah, he's full stance. Look at the other side. He's not even out yet. And he's out. Look at Murphy. Get that corner. So again, we're looks like we want to rip to the outside. Faces collide again. Get that thing off you. Get it off you. Get it off. If you're not going to get the hand off you, you're never going to get that call. You're not going to get that. You have to win with your moves to get a holding call. So again, I think it's clear what we can see what his next step is. So I like when you can watch a player on tape and watch their flashes and still see, because 41 pressures, you don't just walk into 41 pressures, right? You got to have some level of talent and skill, size, length, all of these things. And he has that. But you can watch them and you can say, easy to see how you can get better. Easy to see what you should be working on in the offseason. Because some guys you watch and you go, I just don't know if they'll ever get better than that. I don't know really what they could do to get better. Like take Cedric Johnson, right? When I watch him, I'm like, good blend of a little bit of everything, but I don't know that he's ever going to turn into a guy that gives you 6 sacks a year. He would have to take a leap in a way that I just can't see on tape. But for Murphy, you can see how he can get better. I think some people have misconstrued that at times. There's been times I've said, I've gotten both sides of this. So number one, on the one side, I'm like, Murphy can get better. Look at the flashes. He can be an impact player for you. And people go, he stinks. He's a bust. And I'm like, why do you go so radical on one way? And then on the other side, when people are like, man, Murphy is really good. What a breakout year. And I'm like, yeah, not yet. Like the breakout will happen when these moves start landing at a higher rate. And people are like, oh, you hate Myles Murphy. That's not the case. I can see where he can get better. I can see the potential. Now let's do it. And that's where 2026 comes in. Contract year. If the Bengals did not pick up that 5th-year option on Myles Murphy, hey, fine. Don't sign an extension either. If I were him, no, I ain't signing an extension. I'm going to get 10 sacks. I'm working on those hands. I'm coming back. 10 sacks. Everyone's happy. The defense is better. Now I'm worth $15 million plus a year because he's still super young, right? Yeah, that should be the plan. We'll jump into another player on the next episode of Bengals on the Brain presented by First Star Logistics. Until next time, guys. Hoo day.